Hola chicos, ahora estamos listos para empezar con el capítulo 2. En el capítulo 2 hablamos sobre de dónde eres. So we're ready to start with chapter 2. In chapter 2, we deal with where are you from. Of course, we've already done some of this. You have been conversing on these topics already in our composition forums. So we're a little ahead of the game. By now, you should have completed all of the work for Capitulo 1, which is my Spanish lab, your forum posts, your fichas de vocabulario. I forgot to put that in the first video, so you get extra credit for it in Capitulo 1. Working with Duolingo, hopefully, even though you didn't have to submit a screenshot at this point. So now, chapter 2. In chapter 2, we have some new grammar concepts and, of course, new vocabulary concepts. We'll be talking about adjectives of nationality. So, where are you from? How do you explain that you're a person of a certain nationality or from a certain country? We will be learning how to tell time in Spanish. We will be doing formation of questions, of yes and no questions, of using answers of negation. How do you say know something in Spanish? We'll be learning interrogative words. So who, what, where, when, why, how, those type of words. And most importantly, in this chapter is when we really get into verbs. So you'll learn how to structure regular verbs in the present tense. And you'll see those listed as AR, ER, and IR verbs because they have their sets of endings depending upon the type of verbs. And then we'll also be learning the verb tener, which is to have, is the way we'll be learning it in this chapter. It has other uses that we'll be learning later, but for this chapter it's to have. And culturally, we'll be learning about Spain. So work-wise, we have quite a bit to do. Your work increases a bit this chapter. Of course, you want to do all the supplemental work. So listen to the music, watch the videos, go through the Michel Thomas disc. What I really want you to do most with Michel Thomas is to listen and practice along. That's the most important thing. That's what's going to help you the most. I didn't put up the handout for it just because there have been so many issues with the handout not going along with the discs that I hadn't realized. And honestly, it can be a benefit to you to make your own flashcards. You of course have to do the e-text, listen to the audio. I have PowerPoints for the chapter, and I do have a recorded video lecture. It's kind of long. You don't have to watch it, but it can be very useful. Once you've done those things, you do your My Spanish lab homework, of course, you always have that. The composición, this chapter is Mi horario para el otoño, my schedule for the fall, and of course respond to 2 other students. You don't have to ever tell the truth in these. You can make things up. I don't mind. If you don't want to give personal information, that's no big deal. I have no problem with you making up something. You're going to post a vocabulary word with a picture in the fichas de vocabulario. That will be for homework this time, not extra credit. We have our first cultural film this time around. The film is Spanglish. So you'll watch Spanglish and make sure that when you post in the forum and respond to a classmate, you post according to the question prompts for the films. This is not an evaluation of the films, of its quality or its message. What you're looking for is some cultural issues, cultural questions. So that's what you want to be doing. Of course, you have your Duolingo for extra credit. And at the end of this chapter, you can submit your first extra credit screenshot for Duolingo. SI attendance, always you must either attend live or do the section of the module with the quiz. once per chapter. And then don't forget your conversation hours. These have to be done at least 5 half-hour sessions during the semester. Other than that, just keep plugging away. If you have questions, come to us. Oh, one more thing. I do need you with this chapter to go into the wiki and sign up for your group project. This is something you all have to do. It's a country project with an emphasis on the city, a city within the country. You can find out more information about that in the project module, and you can look at the grading rubric for that to know what we are looking for in these projects. So make sure you do that. You sign up for the country that you want to look at, that you know what you're going to be working on for your country project. And you always know where to find me. You can always post in the forums. You can email me. I've already had a couple of individual online appointments with a couple of you who were concerned and want to get into it, and that's great. If you want to do that, we can always have a little Skype meeting or meet in my Adobe office. You can always ask questions also of Lindsay during SI sessions or of Sarah during conversation hours. So you have a lot of support, a lot of help in this class. So just make sure that you're able to use it. And oh, one thing I almost forgot with this chapter, extremely important, is you have your first exam at the end of Capitulo 2. Your exam will cover vocabulary, grammar concepts, and cultural points from Capítulo 1 y Capítulo 2. So chapter 1 and 2, vocabulary, grammar points, and culture. So you need to have that exam completed by the end of the time period for the chapter 2 module. So just don't put it off. Make sure you get it done. And like I said, if any questions come up about that, let me know. Okay? And have a great week, a great capítulo 2. Adiós.